Hello, my name is Elzina, and today podcast name is called Just Another Human Talking. The reason is called in this way because I think there are tons of thousands of ideas on the world. There are thousands of values for life, and there's no such right and wrong. So when I'm sharing these ideas, it's just my ideas for you to reference to your life. It's not telling you what should do or what shouldn't do. I don't like those kind of videos talking about you should do this in your 20, you should do that in your 30. Like you will regret this if you don't do this. I don't like those kind of topic to tell people they should do something because everyone has their own life. Everyone has something to figure out in a certain age. And these figure out thing, these lessons that stalk them in some age are maybe important to make who they are. Maybe because of this lessons or things that they cannot overcome in that year make them who they are. So it's just another human talking, just wanting to share my ideas, maybe in a month or next month I will make another series. Just maybe, like, we'll see. So today's things that I want to share is we can only compare ourselves to ourselves. The reason I have these ideas is because it's not actually a new thing popping out. It's an old reminder. You might notice that we should compare ourselves to ourselves, but it's so hard to do it, especially we're in this generation that we're getting information online. People are sharing their lives, their daily lives online. People are making vlogs online, and it's so easy for us to access to the media, social media, or YouTube, or Netflix, or shows, rather than not using any technology. I think that's rarely to have these days. This thought it's not coming from using too much Instagram. It's not coming from I am jealous of others people's life. It's actually coming from because I'm doing YouTube, I'm making videos, so I want to learn how other people do or make videos. When I see these videos, I accidentally fall into the trap to compare themselves to myself. And I believe a lot of people might have this problem. So they will shut their Instagram down or like delete their Instagram. I believe this is the thing that struggle people a lot. So that's why we have a lot of videos talking about you should delete social media. We should not using social media. This is what happened when I delete social media. These are the example of the videos that shows me that this is an important topic. But I don't think deleting social medias and not using them is the only way out. And I also think that's not the point. I think the point is we should put our attention back to ourselves to validate the process of what have we been through. Because the thing is, only you know what you have been through. Only you know when is the starting point of doing something and how far you have made to here. One thing that I learned is that we have to validate our lives, our existence, our effort, our appearance, anything first before other people start to validate us. We talk about a lot of denying. We got denied by something, we got denied by our families, by our lovers, by our friends, by a stranger, by people on the internet. There is so much denying on the world. But we should start talking about validating. Because if we don't love ourselves, who's gonna love us? We should start to think more about loving. That's what I think. So it actually not a conscious reflection of knowing that I'm comparing myself to others is actually an accident. Wow. Is an accident. Wow. So one day I was using Instagram, and on the Instagram, we have that thing. It's called Story Archive. I clicked the Story Archive and I saw the picture that I took from freshman years. Now I'm a senior, and it's only 4 years, but there are a lot of differences has going on. I did a lot of things. I made a lot of new friends. I lost some friends too. The financial situation also changed. I went to exchange. I started a program called Shuffle. I joined a club. I learned what is clinical psychology. I went to lab. These are the experiences I have in these years. Looking back from freshman years to now, I understand that there are so many changes been going on, and I should start to paying attention and focus on these processes to validate my efforts of how I from here to there, from there to here. It's not just Story Archive. Albums and journals are making the same influence too. When I was in junior high school, I started to journal until now. I went to 6 years of boarding school, leaving family in a very early age while I was probably 12. So that situation taught me how to face insecurity. Facing insecurity is not something that I only dealing it with maybe 2 years or 3 years. It's a process of 10 years. From 11 to now 21 is a 10 years process. I was very insecure to now I am secured. It's a 10-year process. And it's only ourselves know how much effort we're putting into. So it's such a long journey to from here to here. So these are the memories, these are the experiences, these are the ideas that belongs to ourselves. So this is why I think we should compare ourselves to ourselves. Because while I am comparing myself now to the self that I was in freshman years, I feel like I made such a progress. I feel like I am so good. The conclusion was made is not because I am comparing myself to others. And it's not also because I think I'm better than others. It's an idea of I'm better than the old me. I'm so proud of comparing with me, you know? I'm so proud of me going through these process, and I'm still healthy, secured, standing here making videos. You know, I used to suck at making videos, and people are doing a lot of good job at making videos. But should I compare myself to others? We can. That's a way to know who we might be in the future. That's a way to imagine we can do. What can we do in the future? That's a way. But that's not the only way. We should, like, you know, to see ourselves, the journey, the process. So that's why I think journaling is such a great job. That's such a great thing to do. I've been starting to encourage my friends journal, you know, studying ourselves. So interesting. And also think that the dynamic or the generation has changed so much. We're focusing on mental health more, and we're not getting rush of having kids, starting a family. We have so many years to explore who we are. We don't necessarily have to explore by, doing more things. We can take it back and to see what are these things. What's my reaction while I'm entering in this, maybe a room, a meeting? What's my habits while I'm getting into a room that it's no one's here? These are all interesting things that we should focus on. So maybe that's another way of getting out from comparing ourselves to others is another way to get out from the anxious feeling that we have of not good enough. It's our way to be peaceful. It's our way to feel fine after we have gained so much information from outside. So that's oh my god, I spent an hour and more on making this video, and I took a lot of takes. I just couldn't express well. And I'm so happy that I did this well in 13 minutes. So I hope you guys enjoy this video and maybe find in a company online, or it's a daily reminder for you. I guess there is certain things it's already buried in you, and you just need someone to remind you to, wake up or like breathe from the life that you're dealing with right now. All right, my name is Yelzina, and see you next time.